Screaming Demons RC SDRC in the shop today. I've got a couple of parts to put onto my quad here. My Slash 2-wheel drive quad. Most of you that subscribe and follow the channel probably seen this on the channel before. It's a fun little runner, and I wanted to put a couple more scalar detailed pieces into it. So I got these off eBay. They're just aluminum hex hubs for the Slash. Well, they're not for the Slash, they're for a tent scale. I think they were for a drifter car, but they should fit onto this. Just have the back here has the pin, the slot for the pin. The front is the 12mm hex, so they should go right on there onto the front end of this Slash, I'm sure. And if not, that'll suck, but I'm sure they will. And then I got the HR aluminum gearbox cover for the TRAXXAS 2-wheel drive transmission. That's the Magnum. I can't remember the numbers. You guys probably do, though. And it's a pretty straightforward piece. Comes with the 2 screws that you need to put it on. And, is it a washer? No, it's a spacer. Like a little aluminum bushing spacer. So I'm going to get that out of the package and show you what it looks like. It's a really nice piece. I believe the HR, the cover here for the spur screws on and off, I believe. We'll check it out in a second here. All right, we've got the package open. That's a beautiful piece. HR Hot Racing usually makes nice components. And I was looking at the RPM one, and I live in Canada. I was looking through eBay, and I couldn't see any really good deals on an RPM one with shipping and stuff like that. So I was like, well, let's check out what they are for the aluminum ones. And the HR was the nicest for the price. I can't remember the exact price, but it was a few bucks more than the RPM one. But I mean, it's nice. It's not going to go on to a RC that I really abuse. I try and drive my Slash, you know, pretty scale and, you know, rip it around, have fun with it, but try not to destroy it, because as we all know, if you're hard on the RCs, you're going to definitely destroy them. And being as this guy has a rider and handlebars and all the extras, it's a bit more involved to, you know, buy the parts or make the parts and stuff. So custom ones like this, I tend not to abuse too heavily, but I like to add the nice parts to them when I can. And this one needed a gear cover because I took the gear cover off and put it onto my daughter's Rustler. So this one needed this one needed an upgrade. And here's something. Check this out. So the cover here for adjusting your spur, your slipper clutch, sorry, on your spur. This cover unscrews. Check this out. Just this little cover. Booyah! Look at the size of that. Sweet Jesus, you could replace a spur in there if you had a small enough spur to replace. You could take the spur off and work on your... I don't know. It's amazing how big they made the hole, though. I don't know why they did that. I didn't do a review or look for a review on this before I bought it. I didn't realize it was that big of a hole. That's okay, whatever. I mean, myself, you know, I think if I was designing this part, I would have probably made this cap a bit smaller. Maybe you can see the inside there, diameter of that part, maybe that size, but whatever. HR, they make a lot of parts. They know what they're doing, so who am I to say, right? So we'll get this on and installed and see what it's like. Maybe I'll install it with the cover off like this so we can see what it looks like. Then I'll put the cover on and show you what it looks like too. Okay, we'll get that done. All right, I've got the gear cover installed there. It went pretty straightforward. The only issue I had was I used the MIP X-Duty drive shafts, and they're rather large right here where they rub up against the case here, and the pin that goes through, I don't know if you can see on this, but I had to use my Dremel and just kind of grind. Well, obviously this wasn't on, the cover wasn't on. I used my Dremel to grind off a bit of the pin there. Was sticking out just like, not even like half a millimeter, not even, right? But it was enough to drag on that case. So I grinded that off, put the case on, and it seemed to go smooth. And then it got to the other side, and I didn't grind off any there, and it was a little bit, it grabbed a bit, just a bit. So I put a bit of lubricant, a bit of oil on there, some SDRC lube tube, easy bearing lube. I put some of that on there just to give it some lubrication, and I'm just going to let it, kind of cut its way there a bit. It's only on the inside of there. It's thick enough, the cover, that it shouldn't cut through a hole through it. Even if it does, what I will do if it does cut a hole through it, I'll take the cover off. I'll put some goop on the inside of the casing there to seal the hole. Nothing will get in. Good to go. So there you can see how big that hole is for the spur gear. So you can undo and deal with all this stuff. I mean, I don't know why you would have to, because even if you take that apart, you can't really do much anyway without taking the cover off. But it's cool. You can see there, you can access it, whatever. Check out the gears, see if they're, stripped or whatever. And then you can put the cover on. 1 second, here's the cover. Put the cover on. Spins on nice and easy with those big threads. Tighten down. Nice and snug. And there you go. HR Hot Racing cover. Looks really sweet. Now they did include a nice little sticker here. Oh, hold on 1 sec. I'll show you. HR with the American stars and stripes. And it also has a little 4x4 on there. I'll just probably throw that in my sticker collection. I don't have a use for it right this second. And then the mounting hardware it came with, I used the short screw that goes in the bottom of the case on the lower side. But this was for the top, and it was rather large. I'll show you. So hold on. Over here. Let's get in here. Put the screw there. Now you can see how extra large it was going to be. It was kind of ridiculous. So I just went into my screw bin and got a screw that was appropriately sized. And we're good to go. And it also did come with this small little aluminum spacer. And, oops, sorry, I'm kind of close there. The same thing, there was no real use for that, so I left it out. I couldn't see anywhere it needed to be. So it's not going on my vehicle, and I'll throw it into my toolbox. Thanks a lot, HR, for the extra hardware, long screw, and a piece of a nice aluminum spacer. So, and a sticker. And if you guys want that piece, which I tell you right now, I would buy it again, especially if I didn't have the X-Duty drive shafts. Even though I do, I would still buy it again. It's a nice piece. I'll let you know after I've bashed it a few times what I think about it more, but I would buy it again, definitely. So if you're looking for something nice like that, it's Hot Racing, HR Hot Racing. That's the part number is TE3201. That's TE, I'll try and get on that, TE3201. And that's the aluminum gearbox cover for the TRAXXAS 2-wheel drive Magnum 7 something transmission. Sorry, I don't know the numbers on that, but it's pretty easy to find that out if you have a TRAXXAS. So anyway, that's the first part of this video done, and we're going to get on to the next part. Okay, the second part of our video is these fake faux rotor hexes. 12mm hexes on this side. And this side has the slot for the pin that goes through your axle. I wasn't sure if these would fit for the TRAXXAS / 2-wheel drive front axles. I wasn't going to use them for the rears because I didn't really want them on my the power wheels. I figured, okay, for the the unpowered wheels, the coasting wheels. I'm just going to sit down here on my desk. So I figured only for the fronts I would use these. I mean, they look nice, but the only problem here was I went to put them on. I already got one on here. You can see, looks pretty good. Now, to get that on, I had to drill it out because here is the one that's not drilled, and it doesn't go on except for that far under the axle. You can see where it stops there. And it stops because on the inside, well, here's the one that's been drilled out. You can see where it's, I'll back the camera up a bit. You can see where it's shiny aluminum on the inside of that. That's because it's been drilled. This one is anodized on the inside, and it also has, you can't really see, but it has more of a collar in there. There's a lot more aluminum, smaller hole. So I had to drill out. Here's the one I drilled out. I had to drill it out to, I believe the size was a 13/64 is the size of the drill bit I drilled it out to. Now it was a little bit looser than it's a little bit bigger than the axle, just slightly. There's just a bit of tolerance, but not much. It's not bad. I mean, this is a two-wheel drive, and it's not a high performance vehicle, this one here. And as far as mine is concerned, it's not a high performance one. It's a fun one for me. I like cruising around the compound making videos. My daughter likes this one too, this vehicle, this RC. So I wasn't too concerned with that. The problem was because I drilled it out the size smaller, which was hold on, was it 3/16? I tried to drill it out 3/16 and it wasn't large enough. It wouldn't go onto the axle all the way. So I drilled it out to 13/64 and it went on there nicely. And it looks great. I'll show you what it looks like with the wheel on. You can't really see it much back there. I mean, it adds a bit of scale detail, but I mean, really, people are going to have to be looking down there to see it. You're not going to just, it ain't a big open wheel style rim. I'll show you what it looks like. Give me 1 second. And this is what we're replacing. So these little plastic hexes, 12mm plastic hex. This is for the front of a TRAXXAS Slash, Stampede, Rustler, Bandit. I think they all have the same. Maybe not the Bandit. I'm not quite sure on the Bandit. I've never had one. But they all have this for the front. They're a gray one. They're wider than the rears. The rears are about half as thick in the rear. And these are the fronts. So we're replacing those with these. And just for looks, basically. And a bit of scale detail in this vehicle. 1 second. So there we go. You can just see them in there. Like I said, I got them just because I wanted to add a bit more scale detail to this vehicle. All the little things I can do add up, right, and help just to make it get that extra little bit of detail. I'll flip it around and show you the backside of what it looks like here. Get some light in there maybe if I can. So the backsides, for some reason, they didn't machine off the aluminum or the anodizing on the backside. So in the backside, you have a blue, rotor. I'm trying to get some light in there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here, get some light on this subject there. So you can see the rotor in there is still blue. So on a real vehicle, it would be all silver, shiny, chrome looking. So, you could polish that off if you wanted. It probably wouldn't take a lot. Maybe just like a bit of sandpaper or something like that if you really wanted to. I'm not going to worry about it. I think it looks okay. Anyway, I'm not going to go to that extent. You could, though, if you really wanted that extra scale detail. The company doesn't sell, I don't think they sell pure silver ones. I didn't see them on the site. All I saw was black, red, and blue. So I don't think you can get just natural aluminum. Complete ones, anyway. But I'm going to get the other one done and put on, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's going to be the same as this one. Anyway, would I buy them again? I probably would. I think I have two more, and they're going to go on to this vehicle up here. Hold on 1 sec. This vehicle up here, it's a Street Stampede. Two-wheel drive Street Stampede. I'm going to put them on the front of those, and you can see the rims here. There they are right there. So you'll be able to see them in there a bit. So anyway, that's why I bought them, just to dress up a couple of my RCs that are more showy, and I don't destroy them and beat them and launch them off ramps and stuff like that. So we'll get the other wheel done, show you what it's like. All right, I've got the other one installed in the opposite side, and now they're both done. See if I can get a bit of light shining in on this one here. Show you that one more time, if I can get it. It's they're down there in the depths of that wheel, but they're there. You can see them when it's not on camera and it's not all bright and reflecting and stuff. I can see them better in my shop here. You can see all the shininess of the rotor and the holes all drilled in. It looks really good, actually. Tell you the truth, it does look good. And it adds some detail to my quad, so I am liking that. And I would buy them again. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed that video and got something out of that. Leave me a comment if you got anything to say or you want to ask me a question about this. Leave me a comment. I try and check them as regularly as I can, and I'll get back to you about that. If you like this video and you've not subscribed already, please subscribe. Really helps me out. You can also throw me a like, and thanks again. I'll see you on the next video. Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, we're out.